You want to hear a woodpecker joke? I was told I have to talk into the mic.
Hey, Zach with Wiscopter. We do drone deer recovery services. We also have Nathan with Nathan Demaster Drone Deer Recovery Services. We work together and manage the Wisconsin Drone Deer Recovery Operators Network. And tonight we're out here with Justin. Tell us the story. What happened?
Thought I made a good shot. Was shooting through a little bit of stuff. We lost blood going through the marsh grass. Zach's our cousin, so we gave him a call real quick. He's tracked deer for us before, and he found it real quick.
This is the nice part about the TV. You know, having a big TV here, it doesn't matter how many guys you want to have crowded around. You can still see it.
This is where it was shot.
Okay.
Right here.
Yep.
It's all public land. It started heading this way.
Started heading north. Do you have any spots in here where you had last blood?
Yeah, last blood was probably like around right here is where we lost it. It gets real like marshy and thick through there. Okay. And it was last seen heading more north.
Heading that way?
Yeah.
All right, so from here, typically what I would do, you know, I'd say we go down here to about where last blood is, and then we'll take a look and we'll kind of head in the direction that you think it went. That's where we'll start and kind of head. Then we'll just start grid searching from there and kind of thinking where the deer might have gone from that. There's more of a chance that it's probably going to be down farther, more in that lower
if he's
spot.
bedding down, he's going to be bedding down in that area. Like that area. It's pretty thick in there after all the fallen trees and stuff like that.
Do we have permission to kind of fly over Diane's, or is she gonna? Yeah.
All right. So just to kind of show some of the settings that for the thermals. So this is the infrared setting. So at the top bar here, this is telling us the temperature range and then the colors. So it's cold is black, then going into grays, whites, and then red is the hottest. So this is just the opposite. Black is now going to be the hottest color, and your white is your lowest. In this mode, it just gives me color for every temperature the whole way through the range. On the thermals, I'm always watching kind of the perimeter. I'm not focused on the center. On the perimeter, you're usually getting a little bit more of like a fisheye effect to it, which allows you to kind of to see into the brush and stuff like that and trees.
Generally speaking, kind of looking at deer.
That's a deer right
there. He is. Doe.
You sure?
Yep.
No, he's got horns. Look at him.
He did. I thought I did see for a second some shape there. That is a buck.
So then we'll mark that location as well so that we see, when we turn around and fly around, right, we've already kind of marked a spot where we've seen those deer. So even if they move a little bit, we don't have to keep looking at the same ones.
So at 216 feet, he's gonna also see like squirrels and coons and everything else. And then turkeys. Turkeys are a problem because they sit at the top of trees and it makes them look bigger than they are. That's, you see it.
I see it run. Look like a rabbit or
that's
something.
A rabbit. That's a rabbit jump.
Yeah, it's a rabbit jumping.
Yep, see it is.
Looks like a coon.
Oh, it's a coon. I was seeing something black rocking. I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, raccoon.
Big one. Everything else was a little hotter.
Yeah, rocks and balls of dirt tend to hold a little bit better temp. So here, this is interesting. So we're now looking at 23 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit as the range. The tighter that gets, the less noise you have in your image. You know what I mean? And so when we started, it was like a 30-degree range. Now it's a pretty tight color. So generally speaking, like see, he's at 20 miles an hour. If you have a clear image, you can move at about 15 and let the thermals keep up. So like that black spot there. But when it's really dense, we tend to move at like 3 to 5 miles an hour and just go in small circles around like pines and stuff to tease out when you can get an image. Oh yeah, right there, to your right, by the river. There's two of them. Oh, there's right here.
I don't know.
That's too thick.
You have to probably go over the river and come down a little bit.
Yep.
We're a little high right now.
I'm gonna check.
300 feet can be kind of hard to get a visual with the spotlight. You get around like 280 to 220 is usually a good number.
Holy is that it?
Yeah, that one looks like its legs are kicked out.
Oh yeah,
There it is.
There you go.
That's your dead deer.
Woo!
Yeah, there he is.
Hey, nice.
Hey, that's a dead deer, baby. Had a babe.
Great work, Nathan.
Like a nice buck.
That'll give you a direct coordinate right to the location. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened with the deer? Was it exactly kind of where you guys were thinking? Was it on course, off course?
It was in the general direction that we were thinking it was going, where we last saw blood. We gave him a direction, he kind of ran with it, and it was a smooth operation all the way through.
Nathan, how did you How did you think where to look? Did you just kind of follow the hunter, or was it like a common spot?
Yeah, so typically we just go out and we try to follow, where the hunter tells us that, they found last blood, what direction it went. So we'll search in that area first, and then kind of expand out that search from that area. I'd say it's one of the faster ones that we've done. Usually it takes a little bit longer. Usually a full set of batteries on the second set is usually what I'm hoping for. Usually you can find them within that first hour.
So for an average recovery time, would you say that you said this is faster, but I've heard something is like anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I had one this morning that we found the deer in under 2 minutes. So, we took off, flew straight out over the top of the woods, and right there it was in the marsh.
So when a guy like Justin calls in, can he call in advance and kind of hold a spot if he knows he hit a deer right away, or how does that work?
As calls come in, I try to be respectful and do them in a row if I can. But if it makes more sense per where I'm at from one hunter to the next, maybe to fit a guy in between, I'll do that as it makes sense.
So if I heard you right, work locally to get the most cost-effective pricing, then you don't have mileage.
Find the operator near you, and most of us operators are talking to each other and helping each other out. And so if I'm too busy, I'd call you up and say, Zach, hey, I got one call up by your area, it makes more sense. Can you go and do it? For me, and I know for you, it's not about, how much money we can make. It's about going out, helping the hunter, and having that experience for them to make sure that, we find the deer that they're trying to go after or been going after for a while.
Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing a grown man cry for a good reason. Yep. You find their buck and they're just freaking out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the highs and lows of going out and doing this too. You see the hunter at the low of, I can't find my buck. And then when we find it, everybody's excited and, happy that they found it. So it's great. All right, let's go.
All right, guys, let's go get them.
Yep. 1 minute, 0.0 miles. Perfect. I think
not always in water, but they do go to water typically when shot. They feel like a burning sensation and they try to like wash it off their skin. And or sometimes they just feel thirsty and coughing up blood and stuff, so you tend to, try to go get a drink.
Didn't go 20.
That gets my heart pounding.
Yep.
In their defense, it's a lifted trip.
Good search. Yep.
Recovery success. We get that question a lot. We get it in different phrases and words where customers will ask us, what is the recovery success compared to with a dog? And what we've come to do is first of all, we don't really compare it to dogs. They're two different tools doing the same job, and we welcome everybody to do whatever they can to try to find the deer and make a good effort. But when it comes to recovery, we actually don't say recovery, we say locate. Right. Because what happens is our success for locating the animal is currently at 88%, yet 66 of that 88% are still alive.
A lot of hunters assume, they think they have a little bit better shot, and being able to show them in real time, with the videos, and then providing that video back to them, of, hey, this is where the shot is. It's a little bit far forward, right? That deer's probably going to be fine, or it's a little high and you can probably miss the lungs or barely nick the lungs. Yeah. So if we're talking like the difference between doing retrievals during the day or during the night, both of them have their benefits and both of them have their cons. The thermals are so much better at night, and when you're flying a thermal at night, everything is kind of cooler. You can be able to see a little bit clearer. But then we're relying on a spotlight to turn on to be able to see and identify what that deer is, if it's the buck that we're going after. During the day, the thermals can be a lot worse and more difficult to use because the sun is heating everything up. But then the zoom camera is on the whole time. You don't have to turn the spotlight on. You can see exactly what you're seeing in real time with the thermal.
I'm definitely happy to do a day call during bow hunting, right. As long as it's not on public land. Private land, and if we talk to the owners and arrange everything in advance so no one gets upset. On public land, you might not know who's out there. And the last thing you want to do is disrupt somebody's hunting experience. So it's definitely better to go at night, just as a courtesy to everyone. Right. My experience is that it's the best early morning. If you can take a call, 4 a.m. till about 8 a.m., and especially if it's private, so you're not going to, mess with some hunter's land, you let that ground get cold all night and then really settle in. And those are some really great, thermals in the morning. With infrared vision, you can't look into the sun. and you can't look into bright areas. So as the day goes on, you'll actually have the camera cut out on you a couple times for safety purposes, is not to ruin the infrared lens. It'll just close the lens if you, as an example, look towards the sun.
Yep.
You know, I tend to find more often that deer being shoulder shot. You know, the hunter's going for the heart, trying to get the kill shot, and they're just getting too close to that shoulder, and then they're not getting much penetration. Whether it's mechanical or fixed blade, you know, they're just not getting the penetration into that shoulder, or they're hitting back on that ribs. And in a lot of cases, that's preventing a vital kill. And there's nothing worse than whether it being a dog handler or a drone operator and not finding that deer that night, and then later hearing that it was found. We both are part of and manage and run the Wisconsin Deer Recovery Drone Operators Network, where we have 35 operators listed. So, you know, Nathan and I may not be in your area, but it's likely that we have a drone near you.
Yeah,
so visit us on the Facebook page to get access to that list. If you're ever interested in the DNR enforcement guidelines, of course you can reach out to the DNR themselves and ask, but also you can join our group. We have them posted. We have a lot of fruitful discussion around how to best stay within the guidance while also providing hunters their service. And if you're into this kind of thing, or if you're thinking about becoming an operator, reach out. We generally have at least a person a week that wants to come shadow us. They want to buy a drone and invest, and we'd be happy to share, you know, all the ins and outs of the business and how to best make the advantage of your time and your investment.